Hello, good morning. My name is Christopher Mejia. I'm the director of the GCLOG program and also the director of the Latin American Scale Network. And I have the pleasure to share here in this stage, this moment, with my friend and colleague, David Hidalgo. David, could you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, good morning. My name is David. A former GCLOGger. I was in the GCLOG program 2 years ago. That's when I graduated, so I started 3 years ago. And I've been here helping the GCLOG for a long time. I'm currently studying my PhD in logistics again in another research center from the MIT Scale Network. So welcome to the GCLOG session, and hope we can have many answers to your many questions.
Okay, thank you, Dave. So, guys, the goal of this session is to inform you about everything you need to know. So, but please feel free to comment, to send in the chat or in the comment box all the questions that you have. So we will be more than happy to answer all of the questions. But before getting started, let me explain you a bit what is GCLOG, because we are continuously talking about GCLOG program. But what GCLOG stands for? So GCLOG is the Graduate Certificate in Logistics. And actually, this is an elite program that the MIT Center for Transportation and Logistics offers to the emerging markets in general, mainly Latin America. So we are looking to bring to MIT CTL these talented students from these emerging regions in order to make them learn and to transfer the knowledge that we have here in supply chain management and logistics. We are looking for a profile that is mainly enrolled in a master's program in their home universities. It means that if you are admitted or you are enrolled in any of these master programs in your home countries, then you are eligible. Also, we have some exceptions. For example, if you graduated recently from these programs, you can be part of our program as well. So do you want to add something on this, Dave?
Just complementing what Christopher said, besides being part of the master degree, the important thing is that you're willing to learn. And of course, this is one of the requisites that we have for the students to be eligible to be part of the program. There are many other requisites that we have. So we will just let you know that it's official. You need to be part of a university program, and you need to be either going to start, as Christopher said, in the middle of it, or recently graduated. Tops 1 year after graduation would be eligible. Let's say that.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. So something else that you need to know is that our program is quite unique. It offers you a certificate, but it's a certificate that is that has educational validation as well, and is very important for you and your career, because you will have the opportunity to have access to first-hand education brought by the world's foremost thinkers in supply chain management and related fields. And we are talking about colleagues that are, senior faculty members of MIT. So you will have the chance to receive these classes from them. And this is amazing. You will have the chance to experiment this analogy that is called drinking from the fire hose. So you will have this chance, and then you will be able to learn a lot of things that we hope that you can transfer into the region, and also help others to learn about it, to face the challenges that you have in your emerging regions as well. So something that you need to know also about this is that we are aware that the programs at MIT can be not affordable necessarily, because they can be sometimes expensive. But this certificate is affordable for you. So of course, it's a compact program that I'm going to explain in a moment. What is it about? But this will provide you the necessary tools to learn all what you need from the foremost thinkers, as I already told you. So the main issue here is that instead of paying a very expensive program, you will have the chance to experiment in a very short period all the education that you need in this field. So just to give you an idea about this,
you will, or the program is structured in 4 different components. The first one is an online component that is the GCX, that is an online course that is that lasts around 5 weeks, right, Dave?
Yeah.
So then afterwards, you will come here to MIT in a 3-week seminar, very intensive seminar, by the way, where you will receive a lot of knowledge, first-hand knowledge, by the way, from people that is developing research and education here in our Center for Transportation and Logistics, and also some other invited guests very recognized in the world. For example, Professor Jean-François, that is an expert in nanostores and also in operation management. And so, of course, you will have the chance to be taught by Professor Josie Sheffia, the director of our center, among a lot of different colleagues. Afterwards, when you are finishing this part of the seminar, you will have the chance to choose one of the capstone projects. This capstone project is the third element or component of this experience. And it's actually very important for you because it's applied research. It's the way in which you can connect the theory with the application. And some of these topics that we develop are sometimes tied to a company, to our organization, to the government, etc. But the main reason is to apply this into the field. So that's very important. So once you leave MIT after these 3 weeks, you will carry with you the opportunity to start this capstone project, and you will be working remotely with your advisor, an MIT CTL advisor, by the way. So when you finish the capstone project, you will return to another 3-week seminar where you will have the chance to share with other colleagues on January the experience to be at MIT again. But here, your networking and your network is going to enlarge because you will have the chance to share with colleagues from the other centers from the scale network. There are all the centers that we have in Zaragoza in Spain, in Luxembourg, the guys here from MIT from the blended program and the residential program, the ones from Malaysia, and Nimbo as well. Thank you, Dave. So this will be an amazing experience that will finish with your graduation, by the way. And it's important to say as well that at the end, you need to present your capstone project as a poster. So in this poster session, you will have the chance to put in challenge, let's say, your communication skills, and you will share the final outcome of your research, your capstone project. So this is an amazing opportunity for you to show the value that you have. And I'm very proud to say that we won sometimes, or we have granted a lot of, we have been granted by a lot of prizes with this, because the GCLOGers, former GCLOGers, have won this several times. So something else, Dave, that you want to share about this? I think that this has been an amazing experience for you as well.
Yeah. So I will tell you a little bit about my experience on that time as a student and also as a TA. So as a student, the 3 weeks in July, so the first time you're coming here, are pretty intense. So get ready not to sleep, get ready just to work.
True.
It's amazing opportunity that you have to receive all this education, but it comes with a lot of responsibility. So you have a lot of homework to do. You will have teamwork to do, which is really important. You will be working with people from the other parts of different developing countries. In this case, in my case, when I did the GCLOG, we're all in Latin American focus. So I was working with Brazilians, Argentinians, Chilean, people from Peru, from Venezuela, from Mexico, and I don't remember where else. I think Uruguay as well. Then after that, I would say, as Chris said, once you leave July and you go back to your home country, you're working remotely with your advisor, and you're doing your capstone, which means you're doing your kind of thesis project and developing that until December, more or less, because you're coming back in January. So January is super intense as well, because you're and as Chris said, enlarging your network. You will be meeting people from different nationalities, different countries, different backgrounds, and it's really interesting the way that you can just share knowledge and understand what different point of view people has. And at the end, you will be presenting your poster, which happens not only to be to your colleagues. It comes different universities, different person from industry,
Yeah.
different people from communication, from newspaper. Apex comes here at the Institute for Supply Chain Management chapter. Boston comes here, so there's a lot of people coming in, and that will be it. If you complete all the requirements, you graduate. If you don't, well, unfortunately, you won't. Um, but that was my
Yeah.
experience as a student. Now, as a TA, I was developing the GCX part, which makes sure that every single student has the same background, at least in knowledge from logistics and supply chain management.
Yep.
Because in July, when you are here, you will have no time to start learning the basics. So you just have to have that beforehand. And in July, as I was telling you, it's intense. After that, in the capstone project, I was given the challenge to supervise, not directly the capstone project, but just to grade all the capstone to make sure that the quality was good. And it was really interesting challenge that I must say. There are many topics, and you're learning all the time. And then in January is again
All about.
a lot of sharing, a lot of networking. Like recently in this January, there were here over 205 students
Yep.
from over 54 countries. So it's a lot of people here. So just apply. It's really interesting.
Yeah, and we are aware of the. Thank you, Dave. We are aware of the situation, the socioeconomic situation right now. So you have access to certain preferential tuitions if you belong to these top 30 universities in the QS ranking from your emerging region, or if you are one of our scale partners as well. Okay, so and there are also other financial aids like for these outstanding students that we call the tuition waivers. So please try to apply. At the end, you will have the chance to develop not only this networking, but also have the chance to receive this world-class education from MIT faculty. So this is an amazing experience that, according to what Dave has shared to you, is it can change your life. Actually, you can see a lot of testimonials, written testimonials, or videos from the former GCLOGers. And I must tell you that all of them are very different and very complementary. And I am proud to say that leading this has been an amazing experience up to now. I just arrived here a few months ago, but I must tell you that this program has graduated up to now over 200 students. So this is a huge deal, all of them from different countries, around 12 different countries. And we hope that you are part of this GCLOG network in the future as well. So we are hoping to, or looking forward to have your application soon. And be part of this 10th, by the way, this 10th class. This is going to be the 10th anniversary of the GCLOG during this 2019 class. So make sure to apply. And if you have any questions, well, that's why we are here. So in order to give the opportunity to the guys to ask, I think that it could be good for them to open. And before saying that, it's also an amazing experience, and you live that, Dave, because during the summer, you will experience all the hot weather. But once you come back on January, complete change. So a lot of the winter is here, is not coming, is already here. So at the end, you will have a lot of chances also to enjoy the city and the Bostonian life as well. So, well, I don't know, guys. Do we have any question? Here we have, by the way, the team, the GCLOG team is also supporting us. Sam, Aaron, Eliana, thank you very much for your help. Do we have any questions?
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about housing options that students might have?
Okay. What do you think, Dave? Do you want to proceed?
So usually the main question is, are the MIT dorms available for the GCLOGers? And the short answer is no, because the dorms are usually for students who are staying longer
Long
time.
terms.
And as you're only coming 3 weeks in summer and 3 weeks in January, it's not possible to have this option. So regarding that, what MIT has is, let's say, it's not a deal with a nearby hotel. It's a preferential rate that MIT gets with the Marriott Residence
Residency.
Inn, and it's literally 5 minutes walking distance from the place you will be taking your lecture, your classes. So it's a good idea to be there. Of course, depending on how you prefer to be there, there are options like, for example, that you can have a full suite for yourself. You can share it with some other person, so you split the cost, or you can even share it with a third person, which would be crowded but still manageable. We don't recommend, and actually, the hotel doesn't allow you to be more than three in the room.
Yep.
Uh, so that's a really good option that you should take advantage of it. It's 5 minutes walking, and it will help you a lot because, as I was mentioning, you will be spending long hours in studying and doing homework, and usually leaving 1 a.m., 2 a.m. home. If you don't live somewhere close, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Um, the other option, for example, is if you have relatives,
Exactly.
friends, somebody else who's living in Boston area, it's good to have that option. Just bear in mind that you'll have to commute,
Yeah.
meaning that coming by train or coming by bus will add some longer time, and sometimes delays occur. So just plan ahead of time.
Especially in winter, by the way,
Oh yeah, in winter
because of the
it's
snow.
highly unreliable because of snow. So just bear that in mind when you're deciding where to stay. And we usually there's another question that do we recommend somebody to look for another place or Airbnb option or something
Or
like this or
booking.com.
Booking.com? Um, Short answer is, as MIT, we cannot tell you yes to this because we cannot be liable of something that could happen to you.
Yeah, and there
Um,
is a lot of factors. Sorry to disrupt
yeah,
you there, but you need to take into account that you are not local, so you don't know what is a safe or a secure neighborhood and which one is not. So there are a lot of issues. Of course, here the area is very safe in general, but you need to be aware of these issues, and because sometimes you don't know what are the distances and the challenges to commute. So for you, could be easier at some point just to say, yeah, but it seems pretty cheap, right? But then you will need to travel for 1 hour or more without considering the congestion. So please bear this in mind and keep this take this into account once you are making your decision where to stay.
yeah. And as Chris said, like as unfortunately you don't know the distance, you don't know the places. If you decide to, yeah, just to find another location, ask us. We will be happy to tell you is a good location or is not. We can always provide that help. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Sam?
perfect. Any other question?
Yeah. What kind of topics are covered in the summer, and then what kind of topics are covered in January?
Okay, perfect. So I will pick this one. So during July, actually, we have a lot of different topics, but most of them are very tied to what the Center for Transportation and Logistics developed. So we are talking about humanitarian logistics, urban logistics from the Megacity Logistics Lab, supply chain innovation, resilience, sustainable supply chains, retail operations. Actually, Professor Jan Franco is coming to discuss a bit more about behavioral operations, nano-store supply chains and retailing operations as well. We also have like a leadership course as well.
Small and medium
Small
enterprises.
and medium enterprises. What else? I'm forgetting someone. Well, of course, in general, I think that
E-commerce,
e-commerce is yeah, it's true.
closed loop supply
Omni-channel. Yeah,
chains,
yeah.
omni-channels. Yeah.
Yeah, so in general, these are all the topics in which we are developing research currently with the senior faculty of CTL. But of course, we have some other people, like for example, Dr. Pacheco, that was also discussing a bit about manufacturing and
Yeah.
how to link manufacturing with logistics. So in general, you will experiment a very interesting but intensive, I must add, set of courses and lectures, and some of them are developed in a workshop style, right? So they are a workshop in which you need to find a way to solve a problem or a case study. So this becomes even more interesting. So that's the part that is more insightful to you, I must say. So at the end, once you finish this very intensive July seminar, you will be able to understand a lot of the knowledge that we have here at MIT and where we are moving on with this.
Then in January, for example, the topics that I usually cover are supply chain software, and there is another leadership part. We have many industry
Speakers.
speakers coming. Usually every single day there's a speaker coming. This year, for example, we have Uber Fried, we have Adidas, we have who
CNS
else?
wholesale
Oh yeah,
grocers. Yeah.
BASF.
Yep.
We have the former director of Domino's.
Yep.
We have Amazon. So there's a lot of companies coming to share what they're currently doing, and also researchers,
Exactly.
top researchers sharing knowledge. And other courses, there are some optional courses that you can take. We mean optionals because it's mandatory you choose one of other. So you have to choose one of other. But we give you the choice to choose which one. For example, this year we have supply chain innovation
Yep.
and supply chain retail
Yeah.
management.
We
So
also have a spare parts,
spare parts,
and the other one was a green,
sustainable.
or sustainable supply chains. So as you can see, as Dave was sharing, there are a lot of, of options from which you can choose, and this will give you also the opportunity to somehow customize the way that you can learn here during the January session. But of course, here's the most important part is how you develop with your teams, because during the July session, I think this is important to highlight, you will have the chance to share with colleagues from the same region. Most of the times, up to now, it has been only Latin American students, right?
Mhm.
So, but during the January session, you will be mixed with other people from the other centers. So this creates a lot of interesting ways to learn how the cultures can mix, how the cultures should work together. So this will be also a leadership challenge. And of course, during the July session, you will be prepared for that. I must add as well that that you have also the games or the contest. This fresh connection game. Well, by the way, you need to use a lot of optimization skills, simulation skills, forecasting, and regression skills. So you will be very well prepared. And let me add you something, because I think that this is like the jewel of the crown, let's say, because and nobody will tell you openly this, but I think that the GCLOG program in general has the advantage against other programs from the MIT Scale Network, because during the July session, the senior faculty from CTL is going to teach you directly. This is something that the other programs do not necessarily have at the beginning. Imagine about the programs in Malaysia, in Spain, etc. So this is something quite unique for the program. So that's why you will receive, in a very compact program, the opportunity to be in touch with these foremost thinkers. So this will be an amazing opportunity for you, and this is something that you need to take into account. Yep. Another question?
Yeah, we got some questions around money. So, are there scholarships or financial aid available? And then, what about payment and how are payments made?
Okay. Yes, well, we have a preferential tuition, as I already mentioned. So the tuition fee right now is 10K, I mean $10,000. So, but if you belong to these top 30 QS ranked universities in your region, then you are eligible to have this preferential fee. The preferential tuition fee is only $8,500. So you will receive a discount of $1,500 in this case. But even with that, if you have a very interesting, profile and application, you are eligible to receive also an additional tuition waiver. We have 3 rounds, as you already saw in the platform or in the website. The first 2 already passed, but the third one, we still have the opportunity to provide you some tuition waivers. There is still one of 50%, by the way, that we are still keeping, but we have other ones with 25%. It means that, well, you need to discount these percentages depending, well, the other factors. If you belong, for example, to a QS ranked university within this top 30, then you are eligible to have the first discount, the preferential tuition. And then if you have the additional tuition waiver, let's say 25%, so you need to multiply 75% by the $8,500, and this will be more or less, if I remember well, $63.75 more or less. So as you can see, there are a lot of options, and of course we are going to take into account your profile, but you need to be aware that you are not the only one competing. So the sooner you apply, the better. you will have more chances to receive this tuition waiver.
And also, a recommendation for this is make a solid application, meaning make your YouTube the video that you're sending first upload it in YouTube. The first thing you have to do it actually is in the instruction of the application, but sometimes people forget, so don't forget to do that.
Yep.
And second of all, get good recommendation letters. And besides that, have a really solid profile application. Make a really good statement where you're coming, and have already uploaded all your academic records. That's something that we require, and it helped us a lot make the decision. As Chris was saying, you're not going to be the only one competing, so there's a lot of applicants coming in, um, but the decision is usually based on the best profiles. If we
Yep.
require further information, we usually go talk to the person, even by phone or in Skype,
Yep.
and then we make the decision. But yeah, make a solid application to be eligible for these tuitions.
And also bear in mind that there is an admission committee evaluating all of this. So at the end, it means that if you are admitted, you are going to be competing, as Dave mentioned, with other guys that also wants to have access to this tuition waiver. So bear this in mind, and don't know exaggerate the way in which, for example, you prepare the video. So we were discussing about this with the team before we start, and actually the most important issue is to be yourself. Yeah. And of course, we are looking for you to have a good English level, so that's the main part. But bear this in mind. So just be yourself. Try to be so spontaneous. Tell us what you are looking for. If you want to come here, what is your main goal? How do you plan, for example, to apply what you will receive here? Things like that. Yeah, why you are interested, etc. So, but we are really, really excited to have your applications. Hopefully, we will receive a lot of your questions as well, also by email if you see this video afterwards.
And as the other part of the question was the payment.
Yeah.
So regarding the payments,
Yeah.
usually we have two two options to do the payment, and the decision is like you have to choose if you want to do one single invoice payment, or it could be split in two, so you can pay in April, late April,
Yep.
and the second part in November,
November.
or you can do only one payment in April. It's up to you. And the options for you to do the payment usually stated in the invoice,
Yep.
but it's either a wire transfer to the MIT account, or you can use credit card, or you can directly come in and pay it in cash if you have it. There are many options that you can do that.
Not good idea, I guess.
Yeah.
Especially carrying all this money.
Yeah,
Well, at
yeah.
least it's less than 10,000, so you can carry
You can
them.
carry on.
But it's not safe for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyways, for those countries that are experimenting some kind of troubles with the local currency and the exchange to dollars, one very good option is to try with the credit cards. So bear this in mind if you want to apply also for the program. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us as well. So do we have any other questions,
Yeah, one
dear
more
team?
question here. They want to know how long after submitting the application will they hear their decision?
Well, this is a very good question. I think that it really depends. Remember that the admissions committee is integrated or composed by people from MIT CTL. So it depends on our agenda, but we try to fix this in not more than 3 weeks. But if we have, let's say, some vacation or holiday period in between, it can extend a bit. But for the next application, that by the way is the last one, you need to bear this in mind. The deadline of this third round is April 6th. Most probably you will receive the final decision not later than 3 weeks after. So bear this in mind, and that's it. So
Any last words of wisdom?
okay, perfect. So I could say that I'm very proud to be part of this program, to be leading this program. And let me share you something. I really think that we can change our emerging regions through this program, because what we are doing here at MIT is offering this certificate to give the opportunity to complement to you this education that you have in your home countries. But also what we want to do is to transfer this knowledge to you so that you can help to face the socioeconomic challenges and all what we need to fight right now in these regions that are facing a lot of different challenges. Sorry for the redundancy. But at the end is like, if we have these chances to apply to this world-class program, just do it. You don't have nothing to lose, right?
And everything to win.
And everything to win. So that's why we are here. This certificate is for you. So go for it. Don't feel fear at the end. Well, that's why we are here in also to in order to also to provide like some kind of feedback if necessary. And if you receive any of these calls like the ones that Dave said, well, not necessarily they are bad news, right? They can be good news. So bear this in mind, go for it, and we are really looking forward to having all your applications and help to change and well to change the future of our regions and to shape what is going to come in the future for the practitioner community and also for the academia.
Yeah. As a former GCLOGger, I would just add on what Christopher said. If you're thinking what you can do after you get the certificate, you have two paths. Either you go back to the industry part, you continue working in the industry, and then you decide to change your company, how things are going, so you can always help your company and therefore help the region, help your country. Or also you can pursue more advanced degrees, as in my case, I joined a PhD. So you're always welcome to improve yourself and help improve the region that you belong to. And last but not least, just apply. You have nothing to lose, as Christopher said. And we're just happy to have as many applications as we have. Um, I would say this is not that you apply, you're immediately in. It's a decision committee. Um, it's an MIT program, so we keep the bar really high,
Yep.
and we expect the best only from you, and we will do the best only for you.
So thank you, Dave, for sharing the stage with me, and thank you guys for being here. So we are really looking forward to having your applications and to meeting you in person. In my case, I'm going to be traveling to Latin America very soon. So for those who were present here in this video or who watched this video, so I'm going to be visiting some of the countries in Latin America very soon, also to have the chance to meet you in person. So thank you very much, and it has been a tremendous pleasure.
I will do the same, but just for vacation some days.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye. Have a good one.